Tutorials on the Terrace.
Hello, welcome back to Tutorials on the Terrace for British Literature. I had a good time reading all of your reflective write-ups this past week. I can tell that a lot of you are feeling a little anxious and obviously saddened by this whole shelter-in-place situation, but stay strong and hang in there. In terms of this course, what we will now be doing is transitioning into our final essay of the year, which will be a mini research paper on, again, one of the poets that we studied previously this quarter. So why don't we dive on in to our poetry research paper.
All right, so let's take a look at our plan here for week 2 of distance learning in British literature. So as I said, we are jumping into a mini research paper here, which we will be working on for the next 3 weeks. And here's the prompt. You want to answer the following question. Why is your selected poet considered a significant and important writer? So again, you can take this in a lot of different directions. You have a lot of different opportunities to explore your poet and argue why they are important to maybe literary history and what they have contributed to maybe the British literary canon. So it is a little broad, and I think that should help you. The requirements. So we do want this in MLA format with a works cited section at the end. It does not have to be its own page, but just a little section. At least 3 sources, 3 different sources. These can be from popular sources such as poets.org or poetryfoundation.org. I highly recommend Poetry Foundation. There's a lot of good information about poets on there. Here's the catch, and this is the one thing that might take you a little bit more time. One of your sources must be from an academic journal. Now, I'll talk more about this at the end of the presentation, but some of you may remember that I went over this during our extended definition essay with Pride and Prejudice. So again, one of those sources must be from an academic journal. Again, this is kind of helping you get a little bit more prepared for college and what you will be expected to do there. You want to have a formal voice. Number 4, formal voice. I know the last essay, I let you be kind of casual if you wanted to. You were allowed to refer to yourself. And this one, I do not want you to refer to yourself. Do not say I or me. Number 5, at least 700 words. That's really not that long. That's maybe, if you double space it, 2.5 pages. So again, I think all of you can do that quite easily. No more than 2 direct quotes from your sources. So that does mean I'm forcing you to have to paraphrase some of your sources. So again, you might find 2 direct quotes. You can use those. You cannot block quotes, just short 3 lines or less of a direct quote. And this will be due on May 8th. So a lot of you are maybe wondering, gosh, which poet should I choose? So again, I went over quite a few poets during the few weeks leading up to the shelter in place. So this will be a little review of who those poets were. So choose the one that kind of sounds more interesting to you. Your work will always be better if you choose something that at least fascinates you or you are very intrigued about. So we start off with John Keats, and we even watched a little bit of that movie Bright Star. So you might remember a little bit about him. So here was the slide I actually published about him. So he had kind of slightly tragic life, but a phenomenal poet. We then moved on to William Wordsworth. Again, kind of you're going to find a lot of information on him on academic journal sources. Very famous Romantic era poet. And then we also talked about a lesser known Romantic era poet named Charlotte Smith. As I said, a lot of the female writers of this time get overlooked. But she really is quite impressive. Also had an interesting life, sad in some ways, because she ended up in debtor's prison because of her own husband. That's kind of lame. And so she actually had a right to actually earn money. Then I also went over probably one of the most famous poets. You might remember his poem is read in the James Bond movie Skyfall. And that is Lord Alfred Tennyson. So kind kind of a big name there of Victorian era England. Again, you'll find lots of information on him. Christina Rossetti, really like her. She's a great poet. Later Victorian kind of era, and you can start exploring a little bit what this pre-Raphaelite movement is, which I kind of referenced over here that day when we looked at her poetry. And she's getting a lot more attention, I'd say, in the latter half of the 20th century and since then. So again, she's a great poet. I also went over Gerald Manley Hopkins. He was this Jesuit priest who no one even knew he was writing poetry, right? All of his poetry got kind of found after he died, and now he is very, very well known. He has that sprung verse, kind of like hopping from one word to the other. W.B. Yeats, very famous. If you're interested in, Ireland, Irish literature, Yeats is your guy. He lived a really long life and wrote over many different movements, so it's hard to categorize him. But because of that, he's fascinating. His poetry evolves. He also has a crazy life with his relationships and marriages, as you may remember I talked about. And his poetry gets definitely very political. So if you're interested in Irish politics there in the early 20th century, he's a great selection. When we move to modernism, this guy T.S. Eliot is very famous. You might remember we looked at a section of The Wasteland, and man, that was a bizarre poem. So people often think of him as that modernist era, kind of after World War I, that big question of what are we all doing here? You probably saw a little bit of that with Fitzgerald and Hemingway last year. Then we looked at two contemporary poets from the Commonwealth, right, outside of just England. So a lot of Caribbean islands are part of the Commonwealth, and Derek Walcott is one of my favorite poets from the Caribbean. And again, he likes to tie things back to the Greek epics like the Iliad or the Odyssey. He's got a lot of fantastic poetry. And then Margaret Atwood, she's even still living. She's a Canadian writer. Again, she's known for a lot more of her novels. The Handmaid's Tale, probably the most famous one, which has been turned into a TV show. But she has written a lot of great poetry as well. And she might be a good option for you. So those were all the different options to pick from. So just select one of those poets. So what about this week, though? Just for this week, I have a little homework assignment for you. It includes 3 items. So you got to turn this in by Friday. I want you to explore outside sources. So do a little digging into maybe Poetry Foundation, maybe some other sources, including the databases I introduced during the last unit. So if you can't really remember the databases or you were absent then, see the databases handout that I am including on Google Classroom. I'll also send it out via School Loop, and also the YouTube video that is also on the stream, which is reviewing how to access these databases. Again, that's how you will find your academic journal source. And number 2, I want a list in MLA format of at least 3 sources you will use. So after you've explored those sources, choose the 3 and write them out or in MLA format. And again, one source must be from an academic journal from the databases. So again, maybe just have that works cited section. You'll get it done right away. And also write out a working thesis statement that fully answers that original prompt. Why is your selected poet an important and significant writer? So this is all due this Friday. You can turn it in here on the Google Classroom. That is totally fine. If that's not working for you, you can also email it to me or even turn it into turnitin.com. I am very flexible. If something is going wrong, just let me know and we'll work it out. And if you still have questions or you just want to check in, I will be doing office hours today on WebEx. We had a nice time last week with some folks, but from 2:30 to 3:30 today, I will be doing live office hours on WebEx. So a little after noon today, I will post the WebEx login information onto the Google Classroom stream. And this is the opportunity, if you have questions about databases, questions about the research paper, or you have questions about anything to do with distance learning, or you just want to check in, you're feeling kind of lonely, I will be there. So yeah, I hope all of you are starting to think about which poet you want to do. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. All right.